Have you ever had one of those moments where you suddenly stop, look around, and quietly think to yourself, what am I even doing with my life? Not because something terrible happened, not because your whole life fell apart, but because deep inside, something feels missing. You wake up, you go through the same routines, you talk to people, you scroll, you work, you rest, and somehow, even while life keeps moving, you still feel lost. Like everyone else understands something you don't. Like everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still, trying to figure yourself out. And the worst part? You can't always explain why you feel this way. From the outside, your life may even look normal. But inside, your mind, there's confusion, disconnection, emptiness. A quiet feeling that says, this can't be all there is. If you've been feeling like that lately, this video is for you. Because today, we're going to talk about the real reason people feel lost in life. Not the fake motivational answer. Not just work harder. Not just stay positive. The deeper psychological reason so many people feel disconnected from themselves. And once you understand it, you may finally understand yourself, too. Let's begin. Most people think feeling lost means they are failing, but that's not always true. Sometimes feeling lost is actually a sign that your mind is waking up. For years, many people live on autopilot. Wake up, follow expectations, do what everyone else tells them to do. Study, work, stay busy, keep going. And during all of that movement, they never stop to ask themselves one important question. What do I actually want? So they spend years building a life without building a connection to themselves. And eventually, something inside starts feeling empty. Because humans don't just need productivity, they need meaning. Without meaning, even success starts feeling hollow. That's why some people achieve everything they thought they wanted and still feel unhappy. Because external success cannot replace internal connection. Now here's where things get even deeper. A huge reason people feel lost is because they spend so much time trying to become who they think they're supposed to be that they slowly forget who they really are. Think about it. From childhood, people are constantly shaped by expectations. Be successful, be attractive, be productive, be impressive, be accepted. So slowly, many people start performing a version of themselves for the world. A safer version, a more acceptable version. A version designed to avoid rejection. And over time, they become disconnected from their real thoughts, emotions, and desires. That creates an invisible emptiness. Because pretending to be someone else is emotionally exhausting, even if the world applauds you for it. Now listen carefully. This next part is important. Feeling lost does not always mean you have no direction. Sometimes it means your soul is tired of going in the wrong direction. That feeling of confusion, that discomfort, that restlessness, it's often your mind trying to tell you something important. But most people ignore it. Why? Because slowing down feels scary. Distraction is easier. Scrolling is easier. Staying busy is easier. Because the moment silence appears, the real questions appear too. Am I happy? Do I even like the life I'm building? What am I chasing? Who am I trying to impress? And honestly, those questions can feel terrifying. So instead of facing them, many people keep themselves constantly distracted. But distraction only delays the feeling of being lost. It never heals it. Now here's another hidden reason people feel disconnected from life. Comparison. Modern life makes people compare themselves constantly. Someone else seems more successful, more attractive, more confident, more ahead in life. And slowly, people start measuring their entire worth against everyone around them. That destroys inner peace. Because your brain was never meant to compare your life to thousands of people every single day. Social media especially creates a dangerous illusion. You see everyone's highlights while living inside your own struggles. And eventually, you start feeling behind, even when you're not. Now think about how damaging that becomes psychologically. Instead of listening to your own path, you start chasing everyone else's. And the more disconnected you become from yourself, the more lost you feel. But maybe the deepest reason people feel lost is this: they never learned how to sit with themselves. Most people know how to stay busy. Very few people know how to truly understand themselves. Because self-awareness requires silence, honesty, reflection, and sometimes pain. You have to slow down long enough to hear your real thoughts underneath all the noise. What excites you? What drains you? What matters to you? What kind of life actually feels meaningful to you? Not society, not your friends, not your family. You. And until people start asking themselves those questions honestly, they keep drifting through life feeling disconnected. Now, here's something important to understand. You do not need to have your entire life figured out right now. That pressure destroys people. Life is not a race where everyone magically knows exactly who they are. Most people are still figuring themselves out quietly. Even the people who look confident, even the people who seem successful. Everyone is trying to understand themselves while moving through life. So if you feel lost, that does not mean you are broken. It means you are human. And honestly, sometimes feeling lost is the beginning of transformation. Because the moment you realize your current path no longer feels right, you finally have the opportunity to change it. Now, does finding yourself happen overnight? No. It happens slowly, through small, honest moments, through paying attention to what makes you feel alive, through letting go of what no longer feels real, through learning how to spend time with yourself without needing constant distraction. And maybe most importantly, through giving yourself permission to change. Because many people stay emotionally trapped inside old versions of themselves, versions built from fear, people-pleasing, expectations, past pain. But growth requires letting some of those identities go. And yes, that feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is often part of becoming real again. Now imagine something. Imagine waking up one day without needing to pretend anymore, without constantly comparing yourself, without chasing approval all the time, without feeling pressured to become someone you're not. Imagine building a life that actually feels connected to who you are inside. That feeling, that quiet alignment, is what people are truly searching for. Not perfection, not endless success, just connection. Connection to themselves. And maybe that's the real answer. Maybe the reason so many people feel lost in life is because they've spent too long disconnected from themselves, not listening to themselves, not understanding themselves, not giving themselves space to breathe and reflect. But the good news is this: you can reconnect. Slowly, one honest step at a time. Start paying attention to your inner world again. Spend less time escaping yourself and more time understanding yourself. Because your life changes the moment you stop asking, "What does everyone else want from me?" and start asking, "What actually feels true to me?" That question can change everything. And maybe being lost isn't the end of your story. Maybe it's the beginning of finally finding yourself.